Hello students, welcome back to your biology class. I hope you all are fine and are safe at home. I hope you all are revising the chapters through my videos. So as we have discussed this chapter 9, structure and function of the living organism in animals, we have discussed in last two videos about the digestive system of the human body and about the level of organization. So I hope you all have watched the video and all the concepts are clear to you now. So today we are going with the next organ system of the human body, that is the respiratory system. So basically in the respiratory system the exchange of gases occur. So we are going to search or we are going to discuss why we always release the carbon dioxide from the body and why we always intake the oxygen from the body. So coming to the next slide. So you know that first we always discuss the learning outcomes. So learning outcomes, after the completion of the topics, students, you will be able to identify the parts of the respiratory system. What are various parts? Like we are going to discuss about the nasal cavity, about the pharynx, larynx, about the windpipe, about the lungs, the diaphragm. So after watching this video, you will be able to easily identify the various organs of the respiratory system through the diagram. Next, you will be able to explain the functions, state the function of various organs, about the function of the windpipe, function of the lungs, function of the diaphragm. So you will be able to explain that functions of various organs. Next, you will be able to draw a well-labeled diagram of respiratory system after watching this video. And in last, you will be able to explain the whole process of respiration, how the exchange of gases that occur in the human body, how the oxygen it reaches the lungs, and finally from the lungs, who takes that oxygen, and finally it goes to the cells. Similarly, from the cells, how do carbon dioxide they comes out from that cells and finally reaches the destination, that is towards the lungs. So we are going to discuss all these things in detail. So let's discuss the respiratory system first. So respiratory system, we are going to discuss the definition first, that is the exchange of gases. It is a system in which exchange of gases that takes place, that is the intake of oxygen is there and release of carbon dioxide will be there. Intake of oxygen is there in the body and release of carbon dioxide, which is toxic for us. It is harmful for us if we keep our mouth shut for a longer time. So generally it become toxic if we remain in sit or stand in a suffocated room where all the windows and doors are locked. So due to lack of the oxygen we can get faint. So it is a highly toxic gas. So that's why we have to remove it from the body. So this is the definition. The definition is exchange of gases takes place in process, intake of oxygen is there and the release of carbon dioxide from the body is there. Such type of system is called as a respiratory system. So let's begin with the definition. So let's revise the definition. Respiratory system is the process in which oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is released from the body. Carbon dioxide is released from the body and oxygen is taken in. This is removed and it is highly toxic. Coming to the next slide. So now we are going to discuss the first organ of the respiratory system, that is the nasal cavity. So all of you have seen the nasal cavity, that is a nose area, which basically one of the sense organ of the human body. So it senses the smell of the food or of the different things. So nose has two openings that are called as a nostril, and through this nostril the air it enters inside the gases that goes inside, that is the oxygen, it goes inside the body. Inside this nose, fine hair-like structures are there. That nose hair help in basically in removing keeping the dust particle, in keeping the dust particle in the grip, in controlling the dust and germs from entering into the human body, inside the body. So they stop. And these nose hair, they collect all the dust particles and the germs. They collect. So they collect the dust and the germs, and finally do not allow the dust and germ to enter inside the human body. Also, it also warms the outside in air. So basically, outside air is very cool. So when this air goes inside this nasal cavity, inside this nasal chamber, so one of the function of this nasal cavity is to warm up the air, which comes from the outside. And second function is warm up the air. And second function is of the nose hair, which basically collect the dust particles and the germs and avoid them to go inside the nasal cavity. Let's go to the next slide. So that is a nasal cavity. So nasal cavity, when air it enters to the nose through this nasal cavity, through this nasal chamber, it gets warmed up, it gets filtered through these hair which are present in the nostril, in the nose, and these nose hair, it stops the dust and germs from entering the respiratory system. So air also it gets warmed up by the that nasal chamber. Next we are going to discuss about the pharynx. So pharynx is the common passage, and that common passage which allows the food as well as air to go inside the body. So this is a pharynx. So pharynx, it basically it is a common opening which allows the food and air to pass inside the body. So this common opening, this common passage is known as a pharynx. So let's revise the pharynx. So pharynx, nasal cavity, it leads into an organ which is called as a pharynx. Pharynx, from here air passes into the chamber, and that chamber is called as a larynx, which is also called as a voice box. As I have told you, it is a common opening, common passage for the air as well as to wind and the food to pass through it. So that common opening is called as a pharynx. Clear? So when air it rushes from the pharynx, it goes downward, and from downwardly it reaches a tube, a canal, and that canal, that chamber is called as a larynx. So larynx, other name of larynx is called as a sound box, as it produces the sound. Next we are going to discuss about the next definition, that is the epiglottis. So epiglottis is a flap-like structure which is present at the top of this larynx. So basically, what is the function of this flap? It stops avoiding the food to enter inside the windpipe. So whenever we eat the food, so this flap it covers that larynx so that the food will not enter inside the your food pipe. So basically it helps in breathing process. So epiglottis You can see here in the picture how that food, whenever you take the food, it goes from your mouth, it passes through the pharynx, and then from the pharynx it goes to that food goes to the food pipe, and epiglottis is the flap which covers that the your windpipe. Next we are going to discuss the epiglottis. So epiglottis, the opening of pharynx into the larynx, is guarded by a valve, or you can say a flap. That flap is called as a epiglottis. So function of epiglottis, what is the function of that epiglottis? It closes the opening of the windpipe. It closes the windpipe when we take in the food and keep it open during the breathing. Means when we during the breathing process, basically this flap like structure, remains open, and during when we take the food, and that during intake of the food, so when we take food, so this epiglottis that get closed. So it is a flap like structure. This flap like structure is there. So this flap like structure is called as a epiglottis. Next we are going to discuss about the windpipe. So windpipe is basically a tube like structure which is running along with the parallel to your food pipe, and it is also 12 centimeter in length. Other name of food pipe is called as a trachea. So air, it rushes from the nasal chamber, nasal cavity, and finally from nasal cavity it goes to the pharynx, which is a common passage for the food and air to pass into the inside the body. Then from the pharynx the air rushes into the larynx, which is the sound box. So after that it moves towards the trachea, that is the windpipe. Clear? So this is the way by which the oxygen it goes inside the lungs. Next we are going to discuss, we are revising. So windpipe is a delicate muscular tube which is situated in front of food pipe. You have to keep this in mind. Both tubes, they are running parallel to each other, and it is also 12 centimeter in length. We have already discussed about the length of the food pipe. It is also 12 centimeters and its diameter is 2.5 centimeter. Windpipe gets divided into two parts. So whenever this windpipe it enters the lungs, it gets divided into two parts, and each part is called as a bronchi. So here I am making a diagram so you can see. So whenever this windpipe it enters the lungs, it gets divided into two parts, the left bronchi and the right bronchi. On this windpipe we have the small rings are there, so that rings are called as a cartilaginous rings are there, which are also called as the C rings, and these C rings are helpful in avoiding the collapse of this muscular wall, that is the windpipe. It avoid कि वो collapse ना हो जाए, that way these hard structure it keep this windpipe in its position. Next we are going to discuss about the lungs. So bronchi it further get divided into fine network of tubes which are called as the bronchioles, and finally air it enters the lungs and it from the lungs it goes to the body. So now we are going to discuss how from the lungs that oxygen go inside the cell. So lungs we have discussed, this is a windpipe. Other name of windpipe is called as a trachea. Trachea has a C rings over it. You can see these rings. These rings are called C rings or cartilaginous rings are there. cartilaginous wings are there, and when this trachea it enters the lungs, it divides into two parts, which is called as a bronchi. This is your left bronchi, and other one is your right bronchi. Again, this bronchi is divided into further fine network of tubes. These fine network of tubes are called as a bronchioles. You can see over here these fine tubes, these are called as a bronchioles. At the end of the bronchioles, grape-like bunch of grape is there, and that bunch of grape-like structures, these are called as a alveoli, or we can say these are called as a air sacs. So these air sacs these carries the oxygen, and these oxygen is finally passed it to the cell with the help of blood vessels. Blood vessels, inside the blood vessels blood flows, and blood carries a pigment which is called as a hemoglobin. This hemoglobin, it acts as a postman, it acts as a carrier, so which transfer the which transfer the gases, oxygen to the transfers oxygen to the cell. So in this way, finally that oxygen it reaches its destination, that is towards the cell. Similarly, by the same process, carbon dioxide is released from the cell, it goes through the blood, hemoglobin it carries the carbon dioxide, and finally it passes to the lungs. From the lungs it goes back through the bronchiole, then through the bronchi, then through the windpipe, and through the larynx and pharynx, and from the nostril that carbon dioxide is released outside from the body. Next, we are going to revise this lungs. Lungs contain number of air sacs. These air sacs, these are also called alveoli, and blood vessel, like I draw over here. This balloon, this grape-like structure, small, it has blood vessels at the top, and that blood vessels they carry the oxygen by the process of diffusion. When air enters the lungs, the blood vessels around the air sac take in oxygen and they give out carbon dioxide and water. Oxygen is carried by the blood to different parts of the body, and in return carbon dioxide and water vapor from the blood which enters the lungs, and it is thrown out through the nose. So next we are going to discuss about the next part, that is about the diaphragm. Diaphragm is a basically muscular band. You can see over here, this is the diaphragm. So this is a muscular band which is present, muscular band, I'm writing again, muscular band which is present below the stomach, below the lungs, and it helps in the movement of the lungs. So what is the basic function of this diaphragm? It helps in the movement of lungs. Lungs they get expand, lungs they contract when you inhale air. So take a deep breath and try to inhale maximum amount of oxygen. You can see your lungs they get expanded, and when you exhale that gas, so your lungs they get contracted. So this is basically done by this muscular band, and that muscular band is called as a diaphragm. So let's revise the diaphragm. Diaphragm is the movement of diaphragm and the muscles between the ribs of the chest wall causes the movement, that is expansion and contraction of lungs. So basically they help in the movement of the lungs. Let's discuss the next. Do you know that a baby has a pink lungs when it borns, he or she borns, while the adult it has a darkened lungs. What is the reason behind that? As due to the impurities, due to the pollution in the surroundings. So an adult lungs that become brownish in color, dark brown in color, whereas the child has a pinkish lungs when he or she borns. So next, so already we have discussed a baby is born with the pink lungs. As the child grows, his or her lungs will get darkened due to the impurities present in the air. On the average, the lungs of an adult can hold about 6 liters of an air. Yes, we can hold about 6 liters of air. And during sneezing, the air that comes out at the speed of 160 km per hour. That is the speed of air when we sneeze. So this is all about the today's topic. So let's revise the learning outcomes. So after watching the video, now all the things will be, so you are able to identify now the parts of respiratory system, which are the nasal cavities, pharynx, then larynx, then trachea, which is called as a windpipe, then lungs, and you know the function of, now you are able to explain all the function of the various organs, like of lungs, like of diaphragm, of alveoli. Next you will be able to draw the disc diagram of respiratory system, and in last you will be able to, now you are able to explain the process of respiration, how exchange of gases occur, how hemoglobin that helps, which act as a postmaster or which act as a carrier to transport the gases. Oxygen is taken up by the hemoglobin, and finally it is sent to the cell with the help of the blood. So hemoglobin help in the exchange of the gases, act as a carrier. So there is a home assignment for you students. Read out some air from your mouth on a clean mirror. You have to observe what happened when you blow air on the clean mirror. Think and write on your notebooks. This is your home assignment. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is all about the today's picture. I hope you like this video. Keep revising them. Stay safe, stay healthy at home. Thank you so much.